Would you believe it? This is Cyberpunk running inside a Windows virtual machine, running inside an NX. Can you expect that level of performance for the games inside a Windows virtual machine? Let's dive into it. What if we could run Windows inside Linux with near native GPU performance? Sounds too good to be true? I just installed Windows inside a VM on CachyOS with full GPU pass-through, and honestly, it's not as bad as I expected. But the journey to get here, yeah, that's a totally different story. So hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm running CachyOS as my daily driver, and instead of dual booting, I wanted to see if I could fully use Windows inside a virtual machine with a real GPU pass-through, not emulation. So in this video, I'll show you the issues I faced while configuring it, my VM and GPU pass-through setup with performance inside the VM, and finally why this still isn't perfect. So as you can see here, my system has two GPUs as visible here, and also if you see the output of this command, you can see that one of my GPU, that is RTX 3070, it is VFIO PCI. What does that mean? It has been passed through, and there is only one GPU that is currently being used by the CachyOS display, which is GTX 1660 Super. Also, if I show you in the NVIDIA SMI output, there I would expect that we would only see one GPU because one of my GPU is only being used and another one is totally passed through and will not be visible in the system. But that can be used to power up another VM, which in my case it would be Windows. So talking about the setup via GPU pass-through, let's be real guys, GPU pass-through is not plug and play. Some of the issues that I ran into were related to the BIOS settings or IOMMU groups, and there were some issues like host losing keyboard and mouse when the VM start, multiple times black screen issues during first Windows boot, and audio latency and crackling, Wayland versus X11 issues, and also of course the looking glass setup, which obviously I was not able to set up because of the NVIDIA drivers, as those were creating issues and conflicts in syncing the screen display, and the looking glass was getting destroyed totally and was crashing again and again. So I dropped that idea. Rather, what I did, I used my single monitor using two different HDMI cables, one for my host display and another one for my VM display. So that's how I will be showing you what would be the performance, and it will not be totally by the looking glass. So let's see how it goes. So all of these issues that I faced, and most of them was solvable, but you should expect the debugging, otherwise you won't be able to resolve those issues. This is not a click next done setup. This will require a lot of debugging. So let me show you my Virt-Manager configuration. So let me close this once and open it again. So here you can see the Windows 11 instance for me, and if I show you the configuration here, first let's go to the CPU's configuration. Here you can see that I have 16 local CPU's logical host, which I have used, and also I have manually configured the CPU topology, and I'm using all of the cores as I could, as I wanted to see what real performance that I could get if I totally utilize my CPU. And also if you see the memory here, I have used the 8 GB out of 60 GB. Yeah, even in 2025 I have 16 GB RAM. And the boot options, you can see there is one SATA disk which is here, from which we will be putting up our Windows 11 instance. And also if you see, I have multiple things passed through to the VM instance. So here I have the NVIDIA GeForce RTX 3070. That is the main config that I have done to pass through my GPU, along with its audio controller, which is as visible here. And also there were multiple different USBs I have Passthrough, because that was required because I was facing issues in like accessing the mouse and keyboard once the VM is up. So what I did, I configured two mouse and two keyboards on my system, and so that one mouse and one keyboard can be used by VM, and one keyboard and one mouse can be used by my host. And the last one is the USB headset, which is also required to be available in the VM. Maybe I can show you from here. In the USB host device, you can see multiple devices available from my side. So there are two keyboards, one is this, and two mouse. One is this and one is this one gaming mouse I have, and there is one USB Logitech headset which I am using. So I have used all of these so that we will be able to easily use our VM instance. So let's boot it up, and then after booting up, I'll need to switch to the another HDMI, so my recording will be via the VM instance only. So let's meet you there. Hello guys, so our Windows VM is finally up, and I'm so excited to show you all like how it is working. I've already set the display settings here, so let's go to the display settings once and advanced display, and here you can see I am using the full HD with 120 Hz that is supportable in VM, point to be noted. Okay, moving on. So if I show you what devices I have passed through, you can see my NVIDIA 3070 and its audio controller here, plus some other devices which will be used and will be helping us in the VM and launching our applications which we will be using in the Windows. And also if I show the task manager here where we can see the performance, you can see that my GPU is available here. Somehow it is showing too much activity. I think it's probably due to the OBS, because I have been recording in HD and with better quality, but the dedicated GPU memory, it's not much being used as of now. And also the HDD, you can see here, it is my QEMU hard disk. There's additional disk which I have passed through to this VM because that has one game installed, so which I wanted to play, and that game is Cyberpunk, so we'll be playing it in a bit. And we can see the memory here, which is 8 GB that I passed through out of my 16 GB, and CPU, you can see that we have 16 virtual processors, all of them are being used totally. So let's launch the game and see how it goes. Before launching the game, once the game is launched, I will reduce the voice of the game just so that my voice can be clear in the video, you know. Okay, so we have Cyberpunk 2077 launcher here, so let's hit play. And here we go. GPU is being utilized almost fully up to 95%, and CPU utilization is set to around 40-50%. And GPU power usage is, you can see it is around 200 wattage.
Good morning, Night City!
Let's go, boys.
Count lottery rounded out to a solid and sturdy 30. 10 out of Haywood, thanks to unabated gang wars. One officer down, so I guess you're all screwed, cause the NCPD will not let that go. Got another blackout in Santo Domingo. Netrunners are at it again, poking holes
Would you
in the
believe
power
it?
grid.
This is a Windows instance, Windows VM working on Linux. We are nearly getting native performance here, guys.
And in Pacifica, well, Pacifica is still Pacifica. This has been your man, Stan. again. Join me for another
let's
day in our
start it.
city of dreams.
Before that, let's reduce the voice of the game a little bit so that you can hear me clearly. So let's go to the volume mixer, and I think I already reduced it. Let's reduce a bit more. Let's set it to 15, and okay, here we go. Okay, let's hit a new game. Before that, we can see the settings as well. So the graphic settings, you can see here the preset is set to custom, and what else we have here, texture quality set to high, and there should be multiple other settings. As you can see here, there are multiple settings which have high or ultra settings, so it is top-notch settings that are by default available with the game to experience the best in-game view. And also, if I show you the video, you can see here the resolution is 1080p, of course. So let's hit a new game and regular start. Difficulty easy, and hit it. Let's choose a character. Next, I will not do anything, just default it. Let's confirm and let it launch. From the performance view, it feels very smooth, and GPU utilization wise, it is using total amount of GPU which is available, and also CPU utilization is barely 30-40%, so we are not even going to 100%, so it will not matter if some of that amount is being used by our host Linux CachyOS. Let's continue. So right now it shows around 40 FPS with almost 80% utilization. Let's see how it will be in the environment when we go out of this garage.
Electric coupling module.
You said it was nothing serious when I came in. You said you were sure.
Guess I was wrong. Can always look for another shop where they won't ask a lone nomad why he's hugging the border.
1% lows of the game are still around 40. You can see the FPS for 1% low is 35,
No,
40,
I don't have all day.
and current FPS we are getting around 50 with even similar utilization for the CPU, which is around 40%.
That's fine. Step aside.
What? Got any idea what to do?
I'm gonna bypass the coupling and rig a hot wire.
Compressor will run on and on. It could seize up.
Did anyone ask your opinion? Okay, let's see what happens.
It's like I was telling you. Not shabby at all. Question's how long it'll last you.
And it'll get... No need to worry. I won't be staying long. I can't say that
Served in spec up.
I can't say that it...
Don't like.
I'll just fix... There is no... I've made it clear. I don't want any trouble.
Then stop looking for it.
Okay, let's see the FPS that we get in the world. Okay, it's pretty good. It seems very smooth. Okay, I don't have to go this side. Let's turn around. It's pretty impressive. If I wouldn't tell you that this is a VM, you would believe it that it's a native Windows. Let's go up, see around here and there. Look at the view. It's impressive. How is this game performing in here? Okay, where did I need to go? Okay, here we go. FPS is we're getting around almost 60 FPS, which is totally great.
Hello? Willie McCoy.
V.
Performance wise, GPU uses looks pretty amazing. FPS is pretty close to the bare metal FPS that we get on the Windows, and there are no stutters once this is configured. So on my system I would say this is pretty good, and I would not ever boot up Windows again from the dual boot setup that I have. I might think of removing it altogether. So basically, should you run Windows like this? Pros, there are multiple, and cons, they are multiple as well. So pros wise, Linux stays your main OS. That is the one thing that you would want, and you wouldn't want to run the Windows altogether. And also you are getting near native GPU performance, which is pretty impressive. You can see the overall RTX wise ray tracing seems amazing here as well. There are multiple issues that I faced. The setup was very complex, and also if I'm not sure but if updates can break anything in this setup or not, but yeah, can happen. Also the debugging, it was very much required. Even if you have 100% knowledge about it, you would still need to debug it, because there would be some issue definitely in here, and I had to spend 2 or 3 nights alone to just set this up and play this game just to show you guys. It is absolutely not beginner friendly, but yeah, you can try it, and if you want any help, I will be available as well. For me, this is not perfect, but it's good enough that I don't miss dual booting Windows anymore. If you are a Linux power user and you enjoy tweaking, this is worth trying. If this helped you, drop a like, subscribe for more Linux plus GPU related content, and I'll see you in the next one. Good luck and donk.